In the last video, we talked about asynchronous versus defer loading and why you should probably always use defer when loading your script tags. And in this video, we're going to talk about the mysterious window object that you saw a little bit in the last video. And to get started, I just have a really simple HTML file here, and all it does is load in a script tag with that defer keyword called script.js. And the script tag right now is completely empty. But if we log out inside here, we can just say hi. You can see that when I save this, it is being printed out to the console over here. So let's talk about the window object. Let's just log out the window object and see exactly what's inside of it. We click save, you can see that this window object is an object by the fact that it has a bunch of different properties and functions attached to it, and such that we can say like window dot and access different things on our window tells us that this is an object. And as you can see, this window object contains an absolute ton of information inside of it. I mean, you can see this is a long list of things that this window object contains. But the important thing to note is this window object just contains a bunch of things that you're probably already used to. And that is because the window object is essentially the global object for the entire browser. And you know when we're doing console.log, well, what this is actually doing is the same as window.console.log, because console is a part of window. And we can say that by putting in hi here and saving, and you can see we still log out hi. And that's because console is part of window. Anytime that you access something by typing in code and you don't put window in front of it, it automatically assumes you put window dot in front of it and it's calling something on the window. So for example, if you want to specify a message to your user with an alert, you can say alert and then our message hi. For example, we click save, and if we open up this page, let me just drag this over here, you can see we get an alert that says hi. We click OK and it'll continue rendering everything for us. And that's the same as saying window.alert hi. This is an object on window. You can see we get the exact same thing. This function alert is on our window object, but JavaScript is smart enough to know, hey, you're in the browser. We know you're trying to access the window. You can just leave window off. That's okay. Pretty much the only time you would need to say window.alert instead of just alert is if you already had a variable called alert. For example, we'll just put in here message. Now when I try to do this and save, I'm going to get an error because it's trying to use my current local variable alert instead of the window.alert. So to get around that, we can just say here window.alert, and let's just pass in our alert here. And now when we save, you can see that if I open this back up, you can see that we get this message popping up based on our alert variable. So that's pretty much the only time you would ever actually need to use this window.alert is if you're actually using a variable of the same name locally inside your file, but a lot of times this is not going to happen. So window just is a way to call these different global methods directly. Really the only time that I ever use window.something is when I need to add an event listener to window by calling window.addEventListener. For example, if you want to check when you resize your browser, we can use window.addEventListener for resize. And let's put a function inside here and just console.log resized. And now what happens is whenever we resize our browser window, you can see it's calling that function and printing out resize to our screen. This is pretty much the only instance where I actually ever use the window keyword. Other than that, I just don't even touch the window keyword at all. And if you wanted, you could just leave window off of here and it would just add the event listener to the window. And you can see this still works as before. I just find that this is a little harder to read. I'm not really sure what's going on. But that's not really a big deal. You don't ever need to really worry about the window keyword. Just know that if you ever see window dot something, you can always just delete the window dot and it's going to work exactly the same. Now in the next video, we're going to be talking about the next big global thing, which is document, which you may have seen a little bit in the last video. So I can't wait to see you in the next video and talk about document.